In its nearly 20 years, the Discovery Women's Group at Ball State University has supported some 45 programs, totaling more than $1 million in grants. I'm Betsy Ross, and one of those grant recipients is Rai Peterson, Associate Professor of English at Ball State. Rai, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Betsy. I'm glad to be here.
So let's talk about your project. Your project is partnering with Muncie Central High School. So many of us that went to Ball State are familiar with Muncie Central. Tell a little bit about your project and how it impacts the students at Muncie Central.
Sure. We're a continuing immersive project, Book Arts Collaborative. We are a student-managed public letterpress and hand-sewn book bindery located in the Majax building in downtown Muncie. And for a couple of years, we've been working with Carol Doherty, the art teacher at Muncie Central High School, to get an after-school program up and running for Muncie Central High School students who are interested in book arts. And that was all in place to start in the fall, and then, COVID. And so what we're doing instead is that we are teaching some of the meetings of Carol's class at Muncie Central High School. And thanks to the materials portion of the grant that we got from Discovery Group, we're able to just send the materials for the book binding over to the high school, and we're not charging the students for the workshops, and they get to keep what they make this year because shifting things back and forth during COVID is just too difficult. But we're really excited to be, somewhat involved in the high school this year, and we hope that in the fall they'll be able to do extracurricular activities at Muncie Central, and we'll have the students actually in our shop this fall.
Right. Now, how did you hear about the Discovery grants to begin with?
Well, I've applied for it, I think, 7 times. And when I started to apply for it, Book Arts Collaborative obviously didn't exist yet. It was just a dream that I and an art faculty member had. And we knocked on the door and we were invited to present, and we weren't selected, and we were very disappointed. And then we thought, well, we'll knock on the door again. And so over that time, the proposal that we've submitted has been honed, and we have piloted projects, and we have demonstrated that there's interest in what we do. And I think that I think Discovery was wise actually because not funding us kept pushing us to get better. But that doesn't mean that being funded means we stop getting better, because we're making a lot of progress and a lot of changes, partially thanks to the money that we've received from Discovery Group.
So how did that particular grant, that chunk of money, how did that help you actually implement the project?
Well, the equipment in our shop is all made in the 19th and early 20th century. And so the 19th century print shops weren't very OSHA friendly. And we have a lot of presses that would steal your finger if you were inattentive. And so we wanted to have enough presses on the floor that we could bring high school kids in, and that we would have like a foot operated board shear for cutting the covers for books, that we would have presses that keep your hands away from the business end of the machine. And so we were able to purchase a 1963 Vandercook SP. It's a precision print press with a large bed. And what's really great about that is 1963, it's the newest press in our shop. And so it's the safest press to run in our shop, but it also prints the largest media. So it turns out that in our work with high school students in piloting this, we found that high school students don't send a lot of greeting cards, and they don't see a lot of purpose for thank you cards and dinner invitations and that sort of thing, but they love posters. And so we were able to purchase this larger press, and right now we have college students using it, and they are so engaged in poster making. It's opened a new world for all of our students.
Give us your final thoughts or impressions of what the Discovery Women's Group grants mean, not just to you and your project, but professors across the campus and their projects. What do these grants mean?
Sure. I want to answer that twice, can I?
Sure.
The first answer I have is that last year we were applying for grant support for a lot of projects that we had in the hopper. And we run a very transparent business. We are a student managed business, so students are involved in every level of managing the business. And so our students were involved in reading and making suggestions in the grant applications that we wrote. For Discovery, our students made the films that we ended up submitting because of the COVID closure of the usual presentations. And my students were so engaged in the idea of Discovery They love the idea that it is a women's investment group. And they, especially because the majority of our students in bookbinding and letterpress printing are female students, they were just sort of delighted to think of the way Discovery operates. And I explained to them that it's a women's consortium, that women pay into it, that then they give that money to Ball State related projects every year. And they were really looking forward to making the presentation because they just felt so warmly about the composition of the group. The other way I want to answer that is this. At Ball State University, I've been at Ball State for 40 years, and I've had the opportunity to recruit a lot of new faculty to our department. And one of the things that's really fantastic about Ball State is its emphasis on innovative learning. All of the ways that faculty are encouraged to come up with different methods of presenting material to students, from immersive courses to the Honors College symposia, to special topics courses in the departments, internships, etc. And I think that Discovery is hand in hand with that, because without funding for those grand ideas, they're just grand ideas. And I just think it's fantastic that we have Discovery supporting the best ideas that bring innovative learning to students at Ball State.
Ray Peterson, Associate Professor of English at Ball State University. Congratulations on the grant. Much success with the Book Arts Club, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.